It's 5:30 in the morning. 60 degrees. It's supposed to be 109 today. I'm taking this video before I go to work. It's going to be getting too hot today. The heat's it's bothering me. It shouldn't, but you know, I'm almost 60. I want to give an update on the bike. I started it yesterday, and before, what it was doing is on this cylinder head temp, it would get up to about 150, and then it would keep climbing to 200. And usually when you give the throttle on these, it will raise the temperature, but then the cooling radiator stuff here will go through and it will settle back down to a stable resting temperature, which should be around 150, which is that second. It starts at 100 and it should be at 150. So I wasn't doing that, and I'm thinking, okay, it's getting too hot. It can't idle at 200. You just can't do that. Well, so I'd start the bike up and I would get it nice and hot and then turn it off. And when you do that, you create not air bubbles, but you create heat, which expands the oxygen in the system, and that pushes it out through here and then sucks up radiator fluid as it cools. So it kind of what is that? Siphons itself. Then I noticed that I had a leak down here. There's no leak there. One thing about these engines is that if you first start putting them together, okay, heat them up, cool them down. Don't do this when it's hot. But after it's cool, like right now, go back and retighten your head bolts. Retighten, you know, a lot of bolts, because you can rattle things apart, which is not good. Anyway, the update is that I started it yesterday and it idled at 150. I was able to blip the throttle, get it hotter, and it went to about 180, but it came back down to 150. And that means the air bubbles, which there are air bubbles right here, and there are air bubbles right here, which means they're in the head, are slowly getting gone. So now my next thing is I have to tighten the rear wheel, tighten the front wheel, put the speedometer dealie back on. And then another thing I thought about when I was working, because I take care of different clients during the day, which is great because I can do my work when I'm best able, and then I come home. But I've got a Makita air compressor, and I'm thinking, well, all right, will the fans work or not? These fans I want to put on right here. I always hate it when I'm stuck for time and I'm trying to do this, and then when I get off work, I don't even bother coming out and doing this. I don't know, it's weird. But I'm going to take my Makita air compressor, which is, this is one of the good things I bought. It's right here. It says Makita on there somewhere. And I'll take an air hose, and while the bike is running and it's hot, I'm going to blow air through here. And if the temperature drops, I'll know for sure that it will, that fans will help. But I'm not so sure how much power that these fans take, because we're looking at, okay, there's two fans. There is these gauges, switches, there is the water pump, and I'm thinking, okay, am I taking too much power away from the battery when it goes down and creates your top speed? So I'm thinking about getting another battery. This is a thought of mine. Putting it in a holder right up here under the seat and running the battery in series. So I'd be running basically 12 volt with twice as much available juice. Because if your battery is bad or dying, your bike won't run. And this is for a lot of people that they've got these old Dios and everything works fine, and then try to start it and it won't start. Chances are your battery has gone tits up. That's American for it's failed, and you need to get a new battery. I have this happen to mine. My bike was working fine for years and years. All of a sudden it wouldn't start. I could not figure it out. I got a new battery, everything worked perfect. If the battery is old, faulty, or whatever, tip of the day, you will not get the juice you need at high speed or anything else to run everything. And that can be a problem. Anyway, I've got to go and take a shower and get to work. But she is looking good, and it's beautiful out here. It's like 60 degrees. I get haze. This is a little town of Walla Walla, Washington. And within 2 hours it'll be 90 degrees because it's August, and it's just, you get to a point, it's just killer. All right. I'll make another video later.